Welcome to our homestead, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about something that's a little embarrassing, but it happens to all of us. Something that I'm really far behind on. Let's go. Now I know it's the middle of January. It's the middle of winter. Most of you are buried in snow still. But for us in Zone 8B, it is time to get the garden prepared. And actually, I'm behind on getting the garden prepared for our spring planting. Now that's important if you're trying to provide food for your family exclusively from your garden. And here's why. It's because planting seasons are so interesting in each different zone that you live in. Now here in Zone 8B, if it's too hot in the dead of summer, the only thing you're going to be eating is okra and peppers, pretty much. So many of your other vegetables are going to be shutting down production because it's just too darn hot. So that's why timing is so incredibly important. Whether you're in the northern zone or southern zone, your timing is going to be different, but you need to figure out your timing for everything. So if your garden isn't prepped and you've already got your seeds started inside and they're at a proper transplanting size, they need to come out in the garden, but your garden's not ready, you got an issue. And we're going to be talking about seed starting in a new video coming up this next week. It's really important. We're going to be talking about the biggest mistakes when starting seeds inside and the basics of how to start seeds inside. So that's really important. You don't want to miss that. But here, at least we've got our huge new garden bed right here ready. Although this one is lagging behind really bad. This is where we had our sweet potatoes last year, and it is just a total mess. We've got to take care of this. We'll probably work on this today. And we've also got vegetables that are still in the ground that need to get out. They've kind of over-ripened, I guess you could say, or overgrown, and that's our carrots and our collards, and actually some of our broccoli has already started to bolt. I know, weird January bolting broccoli, but that's Texas.
What garden kitty?
So in addition to amending and redoing garden beds like this, we also have to do the harvesting and weeding in the beds that we still have our winter crops in. More than likely, all of these collard greens are going to get fed to the chickens because they're really mature, they're old. I know they're biennials, but we've got some that started from seed that dropped from earlier in the year over here next to our strawberries. We've also got way too many strawberries. I think I have now 4 beds of strawberries, and this bed is the original bed right here, and it is just way overgrown with the strawberries. I have to thin them out. I may be selling some of those on Etsy. I'm not sure, or if you want to buy some from me, let me know and I'll send you some. Because they are Seascape. I think they're Seascape, and they do really well in this zone. They produce gorgeous, juicy, sweet berries. But you saw when we transplanted them in our other video, we've got another bed here, all strawberries. We've got half a bed up there, all strawberries. I'm going to have an entire strawberry farm here pretty soon, which is cool because I grow really well here. I've done pretty good with them. But I need to grow other things. Like I still have my trellises up from cucumbers and pole beans last year. So I've got to move these because I need to move those 2 crops. I need to get these out of here and put them another place in the garden. We have done our garden plan, and it's really important, like I did mention before, to do a garden plan every year because you need to rotate your crops. I know some people don't, but I like to. Different crops use different amounts of nutrients in the soil, or they replenish soil with certain nutrients like beans, obviously fixed nitrogen in the soil, beans and peas, legumes. But yeah, it's important to do that. So here it is. That's our plan for this year. So it's really just a simple drawing. It's got the dates that I need to start the seeds indoors. It's got the dates where I need to transplant them outside or direct sow them outside. It's got all the information I need for every season. I've done this for years now. Every season that I'm planting. So you know when to plant, what to plant, where to plant it, so on and so forth. It's incredibly helpful. Well, we better get going on this before I lose another day. But we still have all these sweet potato vines that are all along the edge of the garden right here. They're actually covering up our weed fabric, which is the bad weed fabric anyway. We need to redo the weed fabric on this side of the garden because it was that bad brand that we bought, the brand that just doesn't stop anything. So we need to get these off of here. Now, one thing every year, no matter what time of the year, that we really have to work on here in the South is getting out these types of grasses. These are rhizomatous grasses, and I'm gonna do an entire video just on them because, man, there's a really famous gardener, I can't remember her name, but she said these were the bane of her existence. Everything else about gardening was easy, except if you get rhizomatous grass into your garden, then you got a real issue. And I've had a real issue getting it out once we developed this because this whole area is this type of grass. So I just lifted up one of the big blocks that is holding down my weed fabric, and you can see that rhizomatous grass has got this weed fabric completely plastered to the ground. It won't go anywhere. It's grown right through it. So now that we've tilled our bed, and before I rake it out to form our beds for this year, I want to really clean off the weed fabric, because even though this is the good weed fabric, if you get dirt on top of it, if you get debris on top of it and you leave it there, then weed seeds will root in the top of it. So the best way for us to clean off our weed fabric actually all season is with our leaf blower. And that tiller actually throws dirt kind of far. So we've got this all dirty right here. I don't want anything growing down through this really good fabric. So we've got everything raked out. We've got our bed almost prepared for the planting season, but we still have to amend it. So I need to get some more compost for it, and I need to get a couple of other nutrients that I need to add to it to replenish it. And the cool thing is like sweet potatoes from last season still hanging out here. I think we harvested in what, October? These are still excellent, perfectly viable. I'm gonna take them inside. They've been chilling out under the ground, and they're still good. If you want a great crop to grow that's easy to grow, that is really nutritious, sweet potatoes are the way to go. Now it's time to get the weed fabric along this edge. I'm gonna have some serious problems with those rhizomatous grasses coming into this garden bed. So we've got to harvest all this old stuff out of here, get it prepped and ready for the new beds. And like I said earlier, I also need to get these carrots out of here because they're actually getting a little woody. This is a little big for a Parisienne carrot. It should be about 3/4 of this size right here. These are one of my favorite carrots, these globe style carrots. They grow really, really well here in this zone. So if you're thinking about growing carrots and you have a harder, more compact soil, these are a great option. This one is a great size for a Parisienne carrot. This one, you can see, just too big, it's gonna be woody. That's probably gonna turn out to be chicken food. So we really hope that showing you our mistakes is helping you out, because that's the point of the channel, right? To show you what we're doing here. If we know how to do something expertly, we're gonna show it to you. If we make a mistake, we're gonna show it to you, because we want you to learn from it if you don't know, and learn from our mistakes so you don't do them as well. So you can see how important it is to get your garden going, get your beds prepared, get all that stuff timed out properly and taken care of if you want to live a self-sufficient lifestyle. And it all goes together. Not only the gardening, the canning, the taking care of building things, all of it goes together on a homestead. So I said in a previous video not too long ago that becoming an expert in a lot of things on a homestead is really, really important. Thanks again for being here. We love you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.